Is this thing on?
Bonnie, who used to be a former sex worker and now hosts the podcast Dumb Blonde.
Most little girls grow up wanting to be doctors and lawyers and shit. And I was like, I want to be super hot, make a lot of fucking money, and be a rock star's wife. That was my goal as a child. And here we are.
Hi, babies. Welcome to another episode of Dumb Blonde. Today, we have a true icon, one who has lived a full life, and not just because of her exes, but because of hard work, tenacity, and her sheer will to shine. Miss Shanna Moakler.
Hello.
What you doing?
That's a nice
babe?
introduction.
I mean, listen, girl, I've always loved you, but
you.
I really had to kind of study you for the podcast, you
Sure,
know?
sure.
And you're resilient as fuck.
Thank you.
And you've been through some shit.
Yes, I have.
A lot.
But I remember I met him at the Hilton at Universal. Every time I pass it to this day, I still remember. And I met him at the Universal, and I just was like, do you want this anymore? And he was like, you know what? He's like, I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to go do Letterman. And when I come back, we're going to start fresh. He's like, I want you and the baby. You're my girls. We're going to start he's like, go buy some art for the house. Go get some, new things for the house. And when I come back, we're going to start fresh. And I was like, okay. That was like on a Friday. And then
do you think he really genuinely in that moment meant that? Or do you think he was pacifying the situation because he wanted to avoid confrontation?
I'll never know.
You'll never know.
I'll never know. I obviously it was everything I wanted to hear in that moment. Mm-hmm. But I'll never know. But I was in our home, our mansion in Bel Air, and my daughter was sleeping in her nursery. My mother was there, my girlfriend, and we were watching the Latin Grammy Awards. Mm-hmm. And I just remember they were like, Oscar De La Hoya is about to hit the red carpet. And meanwhile, I'm calling him like, hey, honey, did you get home all right? Like, where are you? And he's not answering. And I kind of we all looked at each other like, Oscar De La Hoya's on the red carpet. Like, what the fuck is he doing there? And it's in LA, Right. So we're like, wait, what? And they go to a commercial break. And so we're waiting, and I'm like, what is he doing there? Why the fuck am I not there? Like, what's happening? Mm-hmm. And then he comes back, and there he is holding hands with his now ex-wife, Millie Cordehay, or I don't know how to say her name, whatever, Millie. And I just remember I lost my breath, and I just was like, and the next day they had a lawyer come to the house and say, you and the baby need to move out. And I was like, I'm not moving out. This is my home. And, and it just became like a shit show, a whirlwind, like a shit show. And we were in we fought for probably
Did you ever get him back on the phone?
No, he never called me again. He had his assistant, Raul, come to me and tell me that he no longer wanted to be with me. And I remember breaking down in Raul's arms and crying. I think Raul was crying. I think we were both crying. God. And I just was like, is this really? I couldn't even I just remember sitting on the balcony of that Bel Air mansion with a bottle of vodka and a cigarette and being like, what the fuck am I going to do now? And I really thought in that moment that my life was over. He wanted to meet me. And so I went and I met him. And it was the first time I'd seen him since.
How long ago was it? How long after?
It was about a month since the Latin Grammy Awards.
Okay, gotcha.
And we were in the car talking, and he came to meet me, and I just said to him, I'm like, why did you do that? Like, why did you internationally humiliate me? And he just said, I had a chemical imbalance. That's what he said to me. And I said,
what the fuck?
I was like, okay. And I just was like, well, I don't want to go to I don't want to legally go after you. Can you help me? I don't know what I'm going to do. Where am I going to live? I don't know what to do, And he was like, and he goes, Shayna, he goes, and at that point we had gone to court and figured out our child support. And he goes, you already took me to court for child support, and I'm not happy about that. And he goes, and if you sue me for palimony, he goes, I'm not going to see you or the baby till she's 16 years old. And I just was like, no fucking way. No way would you do that. And then he goes, and he got out of the car, and I'll never forget this, and he went around to I was sitting in the driver's seat, and he knocked on the window, and I rolled it down, and he goes, I have more money than God. Don't be too hard on me. And he left.
That gave me goosebumps, dude. Hey, what's up, guys? If you want to see the rest of this episode, and I know you're going to want to see the rest of this episode, head on over to our Patreon at www.dumbblondeunrated.com. See you there.